attempt to get rock and roll. No rush. I'm sorry. You want to know if we have the all clear game on? Yeah. Woo.
I'm sure I was there for that.
I know you were.
Of
course you were. I just blocked it out so hard, but the pain is there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you really hear the day that I asked the fighter what it felt like to be paired up with insert name of fighter I was talking to. So I asked him what it felt like to be paired up with himself.
Okay.
That was embarrassing.
Oh my God! Thank you. See, I need that to boost it up. I need it.
That's it.
No, no.
Okay, right. We're not talking about how to get that pit bull.
Yeah, just barely. I would only notice it.
It's like,
Yeah, we would, but
Right?
but we're not going to hear from Jack.
yes, we are. Do you read emails?
Is he on the list?
Yes.
Settle down there, Amy.
Alright guys, got Bassil for you?
Morning, bud. How are you?
Doing good, man. All right. What's up, guys? Testing.
Well, first of all, before we start, can you just pronounce your name for us? Because I think we want to make sure we get it right.
Yes, it's Bassil Hafez,
Okay, that's what we thought.
and my nickname is the Habibi.
Can you explain your nickname for us? Because we talked about that as well.
So I just came out. Well, I just decided to do a nickname. I always wanted to do one, and I'm Middle Eastern, Egyptian, and Syrian, and I speak Arabic. So Habibi in Arabic means sweetheart. So my friends call me the Habibi always, and so I was like, always trying to figure out a nickname, and that just kind of it fits, especially because I'm Middle Eastern, and
So-
I'm a sweetheart.
So was it just for this fight that you started this nickname, or?
I kind of like had the epiphany recently, like I need to have a nickname. Kind of like everyone has a nickname. I didn't need to, but I never had one my whole career, and so yeah, I was gonna introduce it when I got to the UFC, and here I am.
So can you talk to us a little bit about how this fight came about? Because it's a little tricky, short notice. Can you just talk to me about how you found out?
Yeah, so I was basically cutting weight and just keep my weight low and training really hard, just in hopes of someone pulling out of the fight, of like any fight this summer. And I said yes to several names of pullouts that happened recently, big names, and said yes to all of them. Didn't really get a yes back, and just continued to stay ready and prepare. And then when this fell out last week, I told my manager, I texted him right away. I said I would take that fight in a heartbeat, like no hesitation. And I think they were trying to get it. And then, they ended up, I think his team ended up picking Josiah Harrell, and then he had that issue happen with the MRI. And then I got the call Monday night from my manager, Jason House, with Iridium, and, tears of joy. It was just like, I was like in shock, but also like super excited, and it's like, it's a great feeling. I didn't know it was going to happen because I thought the fight was going to fall through and they were going to give him a different opponent or whatever, but, it happened Monday night. I got the call, and just so happy to be here.
Do you kind of prefer the short notice fight because you don't have to spend so much time thinking about an opponent, or would you have rather made your UFC debut with a nice camp?
I definitely would rather have had a camp, just because I feel like, as a fighter, you want to put the best product out there for the fans to see and for everyone to really enjoy. And when you short notice, you don't really get that opportunity. I'm still ready. Like, I've been training hard, and my weight is good, so I'm going to make weight, no problem. So it's just, it's not the best circumstances, but my dream came true. I'm in the UFC, and sometimes your dreams don't happen on your guidelines and how you want it, but regardless, I'm going to take it, I'm going to run with it, and I'm happy to be here.
So for people who maybe haven't seen you fight, what can we expect from you? What kind of fighter are you?
Man, I'm a gritty fighter. I'm a hard-working fighter, a gritty fighter. I'll always try and put on a show for the fans. I'm always going to try and, get the finish and not get finished. I take pride in that I've never been finished, and my goal is to, fight Jack and beat Jack this Saturday and prove that, I deserve to be here. And as well, not get finished by Jack. I know he's finished his last few opponents in the first round. I believe I'm going to be the toughest opponent that he's fought lately. Nothing against the guys that he's fought. They're all great UFC fighters and top-level fighters, but I believe I have something different, and I'm excited to show that on Saturday night.
What kind of fight are you expecting on Saturday night? Do you think it's going to be a 3-round war, or are you going to get in and out pretty quick?
I mean, every fighter wants to get in and out, get a submission or get a knockout, be quick. But it might be a 3-round war. He's a tough dude, and I'm not putting anything past him. I already seen his fights and watched him a bunch beforehand, so I know what I'm getting myself into. And however the fight goes, finish, 3-round war, I'm showing up and I'm ready to go. And my goal is to, put on a performance bonus type of, a bonus performance type of night.
Is there any pressure on you because you're coming in short notice? It's your UFC debut. This fight is kind of one of the ones that everybody's looking at, or do you feel like that's extra motivation? Like, hey, they're looking at him. They don't expect me to perform that well because I came off, short notice. What are you thinking as far as that goes?
I mean, I feel like my whole career I've always had something to prove, and I've had doubters. This is no different. There's definitely doubters that have messaged me or commented and said things like, you're going to get your butt whooped and this and that. I don't care. I've heard it all before. And so this is just another fight to me. Jack's a great fighter, and I'm ready for it. I know that a lot of people might doubt me, but doubt all you want. I'm showing up on short notice. I'm going to put on a great fight, and I'm going to stake my claim here in the UFC.
And last question for me. Say you get through this fight, you win. What's next? Do you feel like if you've proved yourself on short notice that you can call someone out? Do you feel like you want to get another fight real quick? What's the game plan afterwards?
I mean, so right now I'm just focused on this fight. I'm focused on winning against Jack and really putting on a good performance. Afterwards, whatever happens, happens. I'm in the UFC now at this point, so I would like to get another camp, or a full camp actually, and just be able to go out there and fight somebody. I don't have any names off the top of my head. There's a lot of guys in this company that are great fighters that I would love to fight. There's guys that I have fought before that are in this company that I would love to fight again, and there's guys that that I would fight that I've wanted to fight on the local scene that are here now. So it's just a good mix of a lot of great fighters. I'm not going to name one name, but I'll fight anyone.
Bassil, what's it like sparring Justin Gaethje?
Oh man, it's amazing. It's a humbling, great learning experience, and I look forward to it every time.
What's it like being over in that camp, man, and having such champions and just, man, you have a tough group of guys going on.
Man, Elevation Fight Team, we're doing something special. We have a lot of great fighters. It's been a blessing joining that fight team, and then doing my Muay Thai also with Justin Houghton at Pound for Pound Muay Thai, and then doing my Jiu-Jitsu with Steve Hordinsky at Catharo. It's been a great mix. I moved to Denver and eventually switched to Elevation Fight Team, and I love training with them. There's so many good fighters in there, so many great minds, and we always have different bodies coming in from different organizations, popping in, randomly on a Friday or Tuesday for sparring. And so it's humbling. It's honestly just rewarding being there, learning from all these guys that are UFC vets that have been fighting forever, and just growing every single sparring session, going out there to not to win, but to learn.
What was the reason for the switch? Was it just something that you needed to do?
Just a little falling out with my previous gym where I was at, and it just, after I had surgery actually at the exact same time, and so it was just a culmination of a couple things that put me out from training. And then when I wanted to get back into it, I checked out Elevation and then decided to just stick with Elevation. I was at Factory X before. It's a great gym. Mark Montoya is a great coach. I just feel like I blend really well with Elevation coaches and the fight team there, and I'm just really loving everything about the choice I made being an Elevation Fight Team.
Awesome, man. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for taking the time.
Yes, sir.
We recently had Donald Cerrone be inducted. Anytime, anywhere, any place. You're kind of living that to that with saying yes, yes, yes to the fights. How frustrating was it that your opponents were like not about it?
It's frustrating, but I kind of understand their point of view. Going against a debut guy who come in and be able to shock the world, they might not want that kind of publicity or to have that happen to them. Regardless, it's the fight game. People are going to say no, and then some people are going to say yes. I wanted to earn my place. I wanted to be here, and so for me, I'm not scared of fighting anyone, and it's just about the right fight to get in here. And so, regardless, man, I think Jack's a great opponent. I think he's probably the toughest dude that I said yes to out of all the names, and that makes me excited. I think he's a great striker, and I'm really excited to test myself against him overall and see, what he has for me.
Excellent. As far as the debut, big name, card, ESPN, all the exposure, I'm sure this wasn't exactly how you wanted to debut, but still the excitement has to be there. Who got like the first call? Mom, girlfriend, somebody like, I made it. I got the contract.
Well, I was crying at first. It was like, I told my friends, like, first time, I'm 31 years old, the first time I ever like actually cried from happiness. Like, I see it in movies and stuff. It was like a crazy feeling. Like, I remember my manager, Jason House, called me and told me I got signed, I got the fight, and I just like started crying right away, man. Just like so happy, so grateful. And then I called my coaches, I called my friends, and told them all, the situation. I didn't get to tell a lot of the people that I care about, just because like everyone's kind of busy, and I've been running nonstop since I got the call. But I let my peoples know, and I'm doing this in honor of my parents. I know that they're watching down on me. I know that they're proud of me finally achieving my goal and getting signed here, and the work's not done yet.
Excellent. And last for me, some fighters do watch tape, some don't. It's nothing. I don't want to go in there thinking about what he can do or she can do. You mentioned tape, so how much have you studied Jack and used that to your benefit, put a game plan with the team?
Yeah, a bunch. I mean, I've seen him fight already before I ever fought in the UFC, and I already was a fan of his striking style. And the way I am is I want to fight the guys that I'm a fan of. I want to feel myself against them. It's like a true way of testing your will and testing what you have. And so I'm excited for this fight. I already know about him. I already know his fights. I've seen most of his fights, and I'm excited. I'm ready.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Kind of playing off that, people often assume that a debuting fighter is going to have jitters. It's the big show. But you fought in big leagues. You fought for championships. Are you going to have that excitement when you're coming in there, or do you anticipate there might be those initial butterflies when you first start walking out into the arena floor?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be butterflies. There's butterflies now sitting here talking to you guys. This is like all surreal for me. It's something that I think I've dreamed of for so long and not achieved it yet. And so finally achieve it, it's just kind of like my mind is still settling in, like, I'm actually here. I'm actually doing this. So, yeah, there's going to be for sure some excitement, but it's going to be good excitement. It's going to bring the best out of me on Saturday night.
So what does your team do, knowing that there are some butterflies, but also trying to keep your head in place? What does this week look like? Is it just focusing on weight cut, or are there things that your team's doing to try to keep you focused on Saturday?
Slight game planning, slight tweaks, different things that we feel like we can execute against him on the feet and on the ground and in general. So just like minor touch-ups. There's really not going to be anything crazy that I can add. It's just mainly, like you said, weight cut, getting my weight down, keep my mindset right, which is good, and make sure I make weight and show up on Saturday.
And last thing for me, I guess, looking at Saturday, what things need to happen to make sure that you get your arm raised on Saturday? What are your keys to the victory?
My keys to the victory are be able to strike in a smart way, not get sloppy. When I get a takedown, be able to control him, use my jiu-jitsu. I'm a first-degree black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu under Ricardo Miglioris at Balance Studios. And, just really push the pace. My cardio's been great. I've been working my cardio at Barwis Strength Conditioning out in Englewood, Colorado. They've really gotten me to be ready for this kind of moment. Short notice, come in and still be able to go 3 rounds. And so, it's going to be keys to victory are just make sure that I take control of the fight and dominate it.
Awesome. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Go Birds.
Say go birds. Go birds.
Well, welcome back. It's been about 5 months since we've seen you. Do you like that amount of time? Would you wish to have come back a little sooner?
환영합니다. 5개월 됐는데 다시 돌아온 지 5개월 됐는데 타이밍 다시 온 타이밍이 맞는지
어,
더 빨리 오고 싶어요.
더 빨리 오고 싶었는데 뭐 좀 늦어졌네요. 반갑습니다, 여러분.
I'm happy to see all of you. I could have been better to be here faster, a little earlier, but you know I'm here.
여러분들이 보고 싶었어요.
I really missed you guys.
We missed you too.
너도 보고 싶었어.
Thank you.
So, when you're gone longer than you want to be, does that slow the momentum from a win, or are you able to still carry that win with you into your next performance?
그 시간상으로는 좀 늦게 시합을 잡혔는데 그래도 우승을 계속 할 수 있는 건지.
5개월이면 늦게 잡힌 건가요?
어.
승리할 수 있냐고 물어본 거죠. 항상 매 시합을 승리하려고 라스베가스에 오고 있습니다.
I continue to train that I am going to win. So, you know, I continue to win as I come to Vegas.
What are your thoughts on your opponent? What were the first thoughts when you got the name? Were you excited? What did you know about him? What do you know about him now?
그 아브라이 드라이프 상대를 이제 이름 들었을 때 경기 잡혔을 때 생각이 어떻는지.
알버트 드라이프 선수는 그 전부터 알고 있던 UFC 오기 전서부터 알고 있던 선수여서 굉장히 잘하는 선수인 건 알고 있었어요. 근데 시합이 오퍼오고 나서 제가 얼마만큼 UFC 와서 성장을 했는지 조금 제 자신을 도전해보고 싶은 상대여서 너무 괜찮았던 상대였던 것 같아요.
He's definitely a fighter that I've known before I've gone into UFC, and when I heard his name, I was like, okay, well, this might be a fight that I can challenge myself to.
What sort of fight are you expecting from him? Do you feel like you're going to have 3 rounds, a war, or do you feel like you can get in and out of there pretty quick with him?
이 상대 경기 볼 때는 경기에서는 이게 3라운드까지 갈 건지 아예 전쟁으로 될 거라고 생각하고 있는지.
그 뭔 얘기?
그러니까 전체적으로 그 상대랑 싸울 때 이번에 3라운드.
뭐 3라운드 내내 진짜 치열한 공방전이 될 것 같습니다.
Yeah, he feels like it is going to be a long 3 rounds, pretty much like a war.
And coming just right after UFC 290, where every fight was spectacular in some way, either, you know, like I said, a war or a quick finish, is there any pressure to keep that trend going?
지금 저번 주 시합 UFC 290 지나갔는데 그 시합 카드에서는 전체적으로 1라운드 끝나든지 아니면 그 완전 정쟁처럼 싸웠는데 너한테 무슨 긴장 같은 느낌 드는지.
뭐 항상 시합은 긴장되죠. 뭐 그리고 저번 주 시합은 진짜 뭐 역대 통틀어서 손가락에 꼽히는 명경기들이 많았던 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I mean, I always have the nerves when I come in for the fight, but it's just like another day, just train and like, to go out there and show what I have.
Thank you.
뭐.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time. To kind of touch on what Amy brought up, that big UFC 290 card. We had a shakeup in his division. Just his thoughts on the Robert Whittaker fight. Now we have a new title contender.
그 거의 비슷한 질문처럼 저번 시합 때 미들급 디비전 전체적으로 그 시합이 카드가 너무 좋았는데 너한테는 무슨 생각을 하고 있는지.
아직 한참 실력이 멀었다. 진짜 더 열심히 훈련하고 더 열심히 운동을 해야겠다라는 생각이 들었습니다. 동기부여가 좀 많이 됐던 것 같아요.
I feel overall that I still fall short of certain things. I still have a lot to learn and a lot of skills to build. So, you know, I'm just going to continue doing what I need to do and train.
Excellent. And last for me, how has camp been here? We've seen him in Vegas before. How's everything leading up? Good, healthy, you know, trip to Vegas?
지금까지 베이스에 온 거는 환영하는데 그 캠프에 대해서 그러니까 훈련하는 데에서 어떻게 하고 있는 거고 어떻게 하고 있는지 그리고 이제 건강은 어떤지.
그게 뭔 얘기예요?
그러니까 지금 훈련하고 있는데 베가스 와서 훈련하고 있는데
네.
그 훈련 자체 잘 돼가는지
아 베가스에서 훈련하는 게 잘 되냐고?
잘 되고 있는지 그리고
뭐-
몸 상태는 어떤지.
뭐 베가스 그러니까 UFC PI가 굉장히 좋잖아요. 시스템 운동하는 시스템이. 그래서 운동하는 훈련하는 뭐 시스템은 진짜 너무 편하고 컨디션 좋게 운동을 하고 있지만 지금 감량 중이어서 배고프고 피곤하고 그렇습니다. 너무 배고파요.
The UFC PI system is such a great system. It's very comfortable to come out here and to train with all the stuff that they offer at the UFC PI. Training is going well. The only downfall is that I'm cutting weight, and it's very tough. I'm very hungry. And
Very hungry.
I'm hungry.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, and good luck on Saturday.
Iron Turtle. I just wanted to know. Obviously, you're not looking past Albert Drive, but if you get in there and you don't take any injuries, are you looking to turn back around and fight in Singapore?
원래는 너 다음 경기 생각을 안 하고 있는 거를 알고 있는데 드라이프랑 싸우고 나서 이기고 나서 안 다치면 혹시 싱가포르 카드에 갈 생각 있는지.
별로 따로 생각은 하고 있지 않습니다. 항상 진짜로 진짜 생각이 없어서 생각이 안 나서 말씀을 드리는 거예요. 저는 항상 제 앞에 있는 시합만 그러니까 약간 경주마 같이 저는 제 앞에 시합만 생각하지 뭐 다른 데 눈 돌릴 수 있을 만큼의 여유가 없어요, 저는.
Yeah, I really don't look past this fight. I continue focusing on the fight ahead of me and nothing beyond that point. It's not even like I even look left or right at this point. It's just continue focusing on the fight ahead.
Awesome, thank you.
Sorry.
And you're on a 3-fight win streak. What's been the secret to your success?
그 비밀, 그러니까 그 특집이 뭔지 지금 3승을 이겼는데 너의 뭐 특집이 있는지.
그게 뭔 얘기예요?
그 시크릿, 비밀관에 뭔지 계속 이기는 3승 우승하고 있잖아요.
아, 뭐 이기는 그 시합 뭐 계속 이겨나가는 그 원동력 아니면 뭐 저만의 뭐 그런 거요?
너만의 비밀. 어떻게 해서 이렇게 지금 3승을 계속 이기고 있는?
뭐 저는 타고난 천재성이나 뭐 재능이 있는 스타일은 솔직히 아니잖아요. 미들급에서도 좀 작고. 근데 다른 사람들 모든 사람들이 할 수 있는 거를 저는 잘하는 것 같아요. 그냥 깊게 생각하고 항상 안 되는 부분 계속 시도하고. 근데 그게 누구나 할 수 있는 거지만 정말 쉽지 않은 거거든요. 아침에 일어나서 똑같이 운동하고 러닝 뛰고 체육관 나가서 훈련하고 저녁에 또 운동하고 이거를 다른지 쳇바퀴 돌듯이 계속 하는 게 솔직히 여기는 다 할 수 있는 거지만은 그게 쉽지 않은 거잖아요. 뭐 그런 꾸준함이랑 뭐 계속 끈기 있는 노력 같은.
I mean, in this middleweight division, I'm kind of small compared to the other fighters, but overall, I mean, it's a saying, anyone can do it. It's just can you actually continue to do it or continue to succeed into it? My thing is I continue running in the morning, train in the afternoon, and run again. It's just a lifestyle. I continue to train hard and learn from my mistakes and continue to grow from it. I just never stop.
That's great. Both of you guys are good standing, but you both have good ground game. Does it benefit you to keep the fight standing? And if the fight does go to the ground, do you welcome that as well?
지금 둘 다 너랑 상대가 지금 스탠딩이랑 그라운드가 또 비슷하게라고 생각하고 있는데 너의 장점이 예를 들어서 스탠딩이 더 나은 건지 아니면 그라운드가 더 나은 건지.
제 상대인 드라이프 선수가 저보다 레슬링이랑 그라운드 쪽은 조금 더 나은 것 같고 제가 드라이프 선수보다는 스탠딩이 좀 더 나은 것 같아요. 그래서 그 서로의 각자 자신 있는 영역을 얼마만큼 자기 게임으로 갖고 올 수 있냐에 대한 이번 시합의 킥포인트는 자기 영역으로 얼마만큼 끌어들일 수 있는지에 대한 게 그 열쇠인 것 같아요. 시합의 열쇠.
Yeah, just overall, he feels, Duraev does have a stronger grappling and the ground in that sense. As opposed to my striking, I feel like I have an upper hand on the striking. But the real fight at the end of the day is the passion and the mentality of this, and to see who stays strong on this as they continue this fight.
So there's a phrase I always ask fighters, their keys to the victory. So for him to get his arm raised on Saturday, is that it? He just needs to make sure that he shows up and that he's focused and he's positive and he stays in the moment. What is his keys to the victory for Saturday?
장점, 그러니까 이 경기를 네 손을 들 수 있게 우승을 하려면 키 포인트가 뭔지 뭐에 대해서 해야 되는.
심판들한테 잘 보여야겠죠.
He has to look good for the judges.
Fair enough. And now for the fun questions. Has he had a chance to have In-N-Out Burger yet, or is he waiting until afterwards?
인앤아웃 버거 지금 먹을 기회가 있었는지 아니면 경기 끝나고 먹을 건지.
한 번 먹었어요. 여기 와서 프로틴 버거.
I did had a chance to eat a protein burger.
Oh, with a lettuce wrap.
Yes.
딱 한 번.
Just one burger or 2 patties, 3 patties? How many patties?
고기 하나, 두 개, 세 개.
지금 감량 중이어서 패티는 하나인데 패티 하나로 먹었어요. 근데 시합이 끝난다면 뭐 패티 한 10개?
Because of cut weight, I only had one, but after the fight, most definitely like about 10.
Definitely. And lastly, any new shows that you're watching? Any new anime? Any new shows that you're watching to pass the time?
마지막으로 네가 뭐 새로운 텔레비 뭐 방송 같은 거 보는 거 있는지. 아니면 만화, 애니메이처럼.
애니메이션.
Or television?
요번에는 식극의 소마라고 일본 만화를 보고 있습니다. 요리 만화, 식극의 소마라고.
It's I don't know the title in English, but it's a new animation that he's watching from Japan that involves like cooking and stuff.
Oh, very cool. There's another one in Japan. It's called, it's Jobless Reincarnation or Mushoku Tensei. I'm not sure if he's heard that one. But also, has he heard about the extraordinary attorney Wu? And does he have any thoughts on that show? Woo Young Woo?
우 새로 방송 나왔다는 우 변호사라고.
우영우? 예, 저 옛날에 다 봤습니다.
Yeah, he did get to watch all of that.
I like it.
좋아한대.
Yeah. Very good.
Thank you.
Finish?
Guys.
Thank you.
Hoping it's like
got a baby face too.
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
I got tired of people always saying that same person, so I was like, I'm just gonna give it a try.
You look fresh.
Like a baby's bottom.
Aw, tingnan. Hello.
Based off of what's going on here, it should be Jack, Della,
Easy. Easy.
Did you have Chelsea Chandler already? Then it's probably the next one.
No, look, I didn't even finish the one.
You didn't like it?
No, you guys want it?
I thought it was bomb, dude.
You not like the chocolate?
No, I don't like the Rice Krispie. It's not good.
Oh my gosh. My heart.
I know, I want like homemade Rice Krispies. Those taste like Crispy Hot.
They fooled me.
I'm very picky.
It's real to me, baby. I
I like it better than the rat, that's for sure.
true that. How do you make at home Rice Krispie treat, Amy?
My mom does. I don't make them.
Oh, that's
See,
right.
she's just a hater.
It's too messy for me. I don't like making them, but she has such good Rice Krispies. I want to do it.
Give her a recipe. There should be something special. It's just the way she puts them together.
I like them being messy and like not so together, you know what I mean?
That's what she said.
Well, welcome back. It's been a bit. What have you been up to?
Just training hard, working on all my skills, my kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and just sharpening everything. And I've had a lot of time I feel like I'm going to come out there and be a completely different fighter than you guys saw me last.
I know you obviously probably wanted to fight, of course, but was there any benefit to not being able to fight, having that year to kind of, like you said, hone your skills?
Honestly, I think so. I mean, you don't see too many fighters that are on the shelf and then they're getting ranked. I was 14 and I wasn't even having to fight. So, and the time away really gave me a lot of time to hone my skills and not be under the stress of a fight per se. You know, when you have a fight coming up, your nerves, everything's going on, and you probably are a little bit more predisposed to getting injured. And I really didn't have that much. So I was able to work on my strength and conditioning, my cardio, everything, and I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now.
And on the flip side, was it difficult to stay motivated because you didn't have something in front of you?
Yeah, that too. It was difficult, but what I've learned is I just focus on little things. So if I feel like I'm starting to get in a rut, I'll go and dive real deep into jiu-jitsu for a couple weeks, or I'll go dive into boxing, and that kind of keeps me entertained and not like I'm in a rough spot, getting bored. So when I focus on the specific aspects of the sport, I feel like it helps me stay in tuned and just be more prepared overall. And then when I have a fight 6 weeks out, I'm mixing everything together and becoming a real martial artist.
And I can imagine when you come off a win, you kind of have that high, that excitement, that I am queen, no one can stop me. Does that go away after time because you had a long layoff? So do you feel like you can still carry that feeling into this fight?
Yeah, this isn't the first time I've had a long layoff. I've had long layoffs in the past. And to me, jumping in the cage is just like another day of training. So I'm not really too worried about ring rust. I've been training with the best people in the world. So I know when I go out there, I'll be prepared and I'm going to put on a good show.
And what are your thoughts on your opponent? What did you think when you got the name?
I asked for the name. I've never asked for an easy fight, and I think this is a tough fight, but it's also a very winnable fight. Norma's fought the who's who of the division. She's fought basically everybody, Felicia Spencer. It goes on. So I feel like going out there and fighting her, you could say, is a shortcut, but it's also it's a big task at hand, and I know that I'm prepared. I see some holes in her game, and I feel like I'm going to exploit them on Saturday night.
How do you see the fight going? Do you feel like you can get in and out of there pretty quick?
With Norma, she kind of plays it boring sometimes. She plays it safe, and I plan on going forward and putting it to her. So if I go out there and do what I want, I feel like I'm going to ragdoll her, make her tired, and I'm hoping for a KO round 2.
And right now there's no bantamweight champion. So what are your thoughts on that? Who do you see kind of holding that next? Who would you like to see fight for that title?
There really is no bantamweight champion. But I've been hearing that Ronda's coming back. And, I heard she's coming back at 45. So you never know. Irene Aldana, she went out and fought like shit, and she got a surgery or something. So, it's really up there. And then you look at Norma, she just fought, who did she fight? Do you remember? Rosa. She fought Carol Rosa, who just beat Yana, and I think Yana's number 6. So if I go out there and I put on a decisive fight beating Norma, I think I put myself up there at the top contenders pretty easily.
Do you feel like Ronda should come back? There's a lot of debate about maybe she should stay away. This is the first time I've heard coming back at 145. What are your thoughts on that?
If I go out there and put on the performance I plan on putting, I'll welcome her to the 45, and I think it would be a great fight. It has been a long time for her, and things change. People get better, and I think people are over her one-trick pony armbar. But, money talks, and she would bring eyes to the sport again. And I feel like her time in WWE is starting to go down, so I'd like to see it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hi.
With the featherweight division seemingly going away, is the plan to go back down to bantamweight?
So I try to focus on one fight at a time, but right now, I understand why the featherweight division is going away. You got Norma, who's fighting these boring fights, and she's pitter-pattering, and nobody wants to see that. So, they want a heavy hitter that's going to go out there and, take someone's head off, and I think I can be that person. And if I'm not, then I would love to fight at bantamweight too, you know? So I'm prepared to fight at either. I like featherweight. I think I'm heavier. My shots are harder, and I can take girls out. But we'll see what the UFC wants to do after this performance.
So you're saying that you'd be the one that the UFC can build the division around?
I can be, yeah.
I also saw that you weren't a fan of Juliana Pena's trash talk.
Oh, God.
Why is that?
You know, I like that she goes out there and talks because there's nobody else in the division that's doing it. And you can see that's how she's getting her title shots. I just don't like her big mouth, and everything she says feels like it's faked and rehearsed. And yeah, she can get it too.
So you feel like she's kind of reaching with her trash talk?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
If I can, thank you for taking the time. Circle back to what you and Amy were talking about. Just the two-part, like your thoughts on Amanda, retiring, the greatest woman of all time, and also what kind of buzz did that create amongst fighters? You guys are like, oh, the division's wide open.
You know, for me, it was kind of like, what the heck? Who's there to fight now? You know, because she was a champion at 45 too, and I know that was an easier weight cut for her. I was a little upset about it, but then I thought about it, and you see Conor McGregor, you see GSP, you see all these people that retire and they come back. So, in the back of my head, she could come back. She said she wouldn't, but you never know. And then she's saying she's retiring. Ronda says she's coming back. So for me, I feel like it opened a whole bunch of doors, and there's a lot of opportunities. I just have to put in the work and do what I'm supposed to do on Saturday, and I think the doors will open, and I'm really happy for the future.
That's awesome. And let me touch on what you and Alex were talking about. If you could make that call and say second round knockout and live it up, I think that kind of just parlays everything together. A good talker, delivering, not just walk the walk, but talk the talk.
Yeah.
Really push your brand out there, right?
Yeah, no, you got to back it up. You talk all this shit and you go out there and make a fool of yourself. It's not a good look. But, I train really hard, and I'm a real martial artist, and I plan on going out there and taking the W.
You emphasize that real martial artist, so you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. How was this camp? How's Vegas treated you? This heat, I'm sure, is not any kind of fun for you. Yeah,
I got a little tan right now because I've been running outside every day. So I'm real prepared for this fight. This camp was great. It was a hard, this camp, I think we had 2-3 months to prepare. So I worked on putting everything together. And, I've been training for Norma for a while. I've been asking for her, and I'm just happy it's here.
Excellent. Thank you for that, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
You fought at featherweight and you fought at bantamweight. Is there a division between the two that you prefer, and why is that?
I'd like 140. No. I think that'd be great. No, honestly, when I watch some of the fights, because I've had some tough weight cuts too, and you see these girls fighting at 35, and you can tell like they were dying at the weigh-ins, and then you watch their fight the next day and you're like, geez, they're just fighting like shit. So I like 45 because if you put in the work, if you're a lazy 45er, I don't like those fights. But if you put in the work and you fight at 45 and you're walking around at like 55, 160, and you're not doing a super hard weight cut, I think those fights are more entertaining. The girls have a little bit more energy. There's more power, and yeah. But 35 is nice too. But I prefer 145 just in terms of power. I feel way more powerful at 45.
And when you agreed to do this, what was the sort of feel that you got from the UFC? Did you feel like there was going to be potential for 45 bouts again in the future, or is this just kind of a one-off at the time?
I plan everything one step at a time, and then I think that if I go out there and do the performance that I plan on putting, I don't think they'll have any other choice but to have me fight at 45. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to represent Stockton and everything, and I'm going to come and take it.
And then looking at your opponent, most of her wins seem that they've came via decision. Does that stat tell you that she's durable and she's able to maintain to the end, or do you see that she's boring and doesn't know how to get finishes? When you initially look at that stat, if you do, what does that say to you?
One thing is to have a decision fight, it does take a certain type of person, to have a decision fight and to constantly have them. So it shows she's durable, but she also is a counter striker, and I feel like a lot of people have gone in there and pitter-pattered with her and just taken the easy route. And I don't plan on doing that. I plan on going forward on her. And if you watch any of her fights, she has a scramble on the ground, and then she's huffing and puffing when she gets up, and she's a little bit flatter. So I feel like if I take it to her, especially in the first round, second round, she's going to be pretty stagnant, and the knockout's going to be there.
You kind of answered it for me. I was going to ask you what your keys to the victory. Is it just about maintaining that pressure and not giving her a chance?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Does Nate beat Jake Paul?
That's a hard fight, but Team Stockton, yeah, I think so.
Does he just kind of wear him out and kind of make Jake gas?
Well, look at Jake. He is on steroids, okay? And those guys gas out. You got big muscles, they get tired. So Nate pushes it into the later rounds. I think he's going to take it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Você quer que eu repita as perguntas em português só para ter uma noção? Beleza. Just gonna repeat the questions in Portuguese to her, and she's gonna answer right away to you in plain good English.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Well, it's been about 5 months since we've seen you last. What have you been up to in those 5 months?
5 meses desde que a gente não te vê. O que você tem feito nesses 5 meses?
I eat too much for these 5 months.
What kind of food were you eating?
Que tipo de comida você está comendo?
Brazilian food, Brazilian barbecue, every day.
So would you say you needed that 5 months, or did you want to come back sooner?
Você diria que você precisava daqueles 5 meses ou você acha que você queria ter voltado antes a lutar?
No, I wanted back soon, but Misha injury, and then.
So you're now facing a different former champion. Which of those 2 former champions do you feel like is the bigger task for you?
Agora você está enfrentando uma outra ex-campeã. Qual dessas 2 ex-campeãs você considera que era um desafio maior para você?
Now I think Holly is more difficult because she loves your job, you know? And then I think this is more hard. Como é que eu falo? Ela insiste em não sair.
She insists in not getting out of this.
Yeah.
So what sort of fight are you expecting from her? Do you feel like you can get in and out of there pretty quickly, or do you feel like it's going to be the full rounds with her?
Que tipo de luta que você espera? Você acha que dá para entrar e sair rapidinho ali do octógono ou você acha que realmente vai acabar indo à distância?
I want to hurt her. I want to hurt her for 4 rounds. And the 50 round, I knock out Holly.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Do you feel like after you do that, you can get the next title shot?
Você acha que depois disso você é a próxima para tentar conseguir para buscar um cinturão?
Yeah, of course. Don't have the most beautiful girl like me.
I believe this is your first UFC main event. What's the week been like for you? Has it been exciting? Does it feel different?
Eu acredito, eu tenho a impressão que esse é o seu primeiro evento principal, né? Então, como é que é para você? Está sendo empolgante? Como é que está sendo essa experiência?
I'm very excited for this moment. I work hard. I changed my life. I changed for American top team, and I have the best coach in the world now. I'm very excited for Saturday night.
Let's say you get past Holly and they put you in a title shot. Would you accept Misha as your opponent?
Digamos assim, você passa pela Holly no sábado e você é a próxima na linha para conseguir para buscar um cinturão. Eles colocam você para lutar contra a Misha pro cinturão. Aceita?
This is my dream. This is my dream fight with every former champion because Amanda do history when she win every girls. I want to do the same thing.
Thank you.
Mayra, why did you change to American Top Team?
Por que a mudança para American Top Team?
Because American team have the best coach in the world.
Okay, that makes sense. I did want you to talk about Alexander Pantoja winning the belt last weekend. What were your thoughts on that?
Faz sentido o que você falou. Eu gostaria de saber um pouquinho mais sobre a vitória do Pantoja. Como é que foi esse sentimento ver o Pantoja ser campeão?
I train too much. I train hard. Too much with Pantoja for this game because we have the same head coach, Barrumpa, and then we train together. Pantoja is a good guy. Is a big champion. Como é que eu falo que Pantoja me representa?
Pantoja represents me.
Yeah, represent me because she's family. She loved the job. His family. He's loved the job. He's the best guy. He's amazing.
Awesome. Thank you.
A lot of people are talking about Juliana Pena and Pennington for that vacant title shot. If that fight does get made, who do you think wins that bout?
Muita gente falando que seria Juliana Pena contra Raquel Pennington pelo cinturão. Se essa luta acontece, quem que você acha que leva?
Respond me. You wanna watch this fight?
That would be a fun fight.
You wanna watch this
I'd
fight?
watch it, sure.
No. Nobody wanna watch this fight. Nobody.
And do you think you talked about if you knock out Holly, you'll get that? Do you think anything outside of a knockout would get you a possible title shot? Do you think just a win over Holly would get you is enough to get you a title shot?
E você falou, pô, o negócio é nocautear a Holly em busca de um cinturão. Você acha que é o que você tem que fazer mesmo?
Yeah.
Tem que nocautear ou você acha que uma vitória simples já te dá essa chance?
I believe I need knockout her. She need knockout me too. When win a good fight, do this good fight, I think the next, because nobody wanna watch Juliana Pena and Raquel Pena. Sorry.
Talk a little bit. Like you mentioned, Holly. You know, this is obviously a good fight, but break her down for me. Do you still think her striking is as dangerous now as it was when she was a champion?
Você falou da Holly, com que ela vem. Você acha que tenta descrever essa luta pra gente? Você acha que ela ainda é a pessoa que ela é em termos de trocação? Ela fica de pé? Essa é a estratégia dela? Como é que você vê a luta?
Como é que fala segurar mesmo? Você tinha me ensinado?
Stall.
No, she's different now. She improved your grappling. Now you only stall. But I need she coming for a fight because I wanna fight. I wanna do fight of the night. But she's different now. She don't have more courage like 2 years ago.
She has a unique style. She tends to move around quite a bit. You know, she covers a lot of ground. Who did you bring in? Did you bring in anybody to try to mimic her fight style in camp?
E ela tem um estilo único. Agora ela se mexe muito. Agora ela está se mexendo bastante. Ela fica se movendo pelo octágono. Vocês trouxeram alguém para treinar que representou a Holly, que fez o papel da Holly, que veio com essa habilidade, trouxe esse elemento para o treino?
For this reason, I changed my life. I moved for American Top Team. My coach is the best. My coach was the Holm. Anderson was the great guy, a great coach, and then this guy was my Holm for 2 months.
And then last for me, your keys to the victory. What needs to happen on Saturday to make sure that you get your arm raised in victory?
E a minha última pergunta, quais são as tuas chaves da vitória? O que você precisa fazer para ter o teu braço levantado sábado?
I need to fight like Chitara.
Mayra, thank you for taking the time. Let me circle back to what you were talking about with Alex, how this is just that team, like what you need to be around. What helped you get here? What was the thought, the situation, the moment you thought, you know, I need to find something new. I need to relocate. I need to start fresh. I need somewhere else to train.
Voltar um pouco no comentário do Alex antes sobre a tua mudança, vinda para cá, você falou do time, você falou da equipe, mas do que foi que mudou a tua cabeça e falou assim, não, eu tenho que ir para os Estados Unidos, eu tenho que vir para cá, eu tenho que mudar minha vida, eu tenho que começar a treinar de uma maneira diferente. O que foi esse catalisador?
Man, I don't know. Because I always watch the guys, the America Top Team, the big gym, a lot of champions. I want to be champion. And then when you want to be champion, you need to stay together champions.
Excellent. That makes perfect sense to me. Speaking of champions, just your thoughts and opinion. The queen of 2 divisions just retired. Amanda Nunes is gone now. How exciting is it that the door is wide open for a new star and you could potentially be that star?
E mais uma pergunta, a rainha de 2 divisões acaba de se aposentar. A Amanda sai e deixa um espaço. E quão empolgada você fica, quão motivada você fica com o fato de que agora vocês podem lutar por esses cinturões?
Vou falar em português essa. Na verdade, eu estou muito... A gente fica triste pelo fato de ser brasileiro, né, e querer que a Amanda luta. E fico muito feliz pelo fato de ter aberto 2 vagas, mas ninguém nunca vai substituir a Amanda. Mas eu quero fazer o que a Amanda fez, mas não falo que vou substituí-la. Eu vou fazer como ela fez, vou dominar e vou vencer todo mundo.
It's sad in one side because of the fact that we don't get to see her anymore, and happy on the other hand because actually this door is open, and she is. I mean, you can't substitute Amanda. She's irreplaceable. And because with that open door, I want to do what she did. I want to go for those 2 belts. But again, she's irreplaceable. I'm not trying to replace her. I'm just trying to do my story.
Thank you. I completely agree, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks so much.
English is good.
Oh, thanks so much, guys.
This is a plot for me to become useless.
don't know.
I'm gonna eat Amy's share.
I don't know what's sweeter, those Rice Krispie treats, or you without a beer. Like, and that's
Whoa. You're just buttering me up right there, fella.
You're like 20 years younger.
Definitely a few. You don't see the grays popping out everywhere.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I like the baby Facebook, but if I had to choose, Papa Smurf all day.
I like it. It'll come back one of these days. I'm not sure how long I'll leave it on this. It's just something to do. Maybe when fall rolls around. Or maybe I'll just get tired of it in a couple weeks. I'll just let it grow.
Dude, right? Just put it right out there, shots. I was like, don't laugh, and then you, I was like, okay, cool, I can laugh.
Yeah. Please start it like that. Oh, Jackie boy. My first question for you.
Yeah.
Is that the pipes?
Danny boy.
No, I know it's Danny boy, but is it for pipes? Is that right? What does that
The
mean?
pipes. Like the.
Oh, bagpipes.
I have to go back to the lyrics and try to fall arms maybe.
Yeah, it's up here, wishing their sons return to farm.
Jack?
How are you, Alex?
It's been a week. It's
Yeah.
been 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Man, I guess just tell me like what's been the emotions like these like you get a fight, you fly all the way over here, you have a fight, you don't have a fight, you have a fight, you don't have a fight, and then now you're waiting for a fight, and then you got a fight. Like,
Yeah.
what's been going on?
Yeah, just a lot of ups and downs. You know, we came over. Like, this is our 3rd week. Obviously, got the news that Sean Brady was out, so pretty devastating. But then we got an opponent. Then obviously, unfortunate what happened, but I think it was a positive. And then yeah, we got a fight. So we got what we came for. Is the good thing.
Obviously, you're a little bummed that you're not fighting on it at International Fight Week, but you got to fight nonetheless, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, obviously it was a cool show. It was a great card, and it would have been awesome to fight alongside the Anzacs, but wasn't meant to be.
Talk about when you found out that Josiah, your opponent that you were supposed to fight on Saturday, had this crazy this brain disease that, like,
Yeah.
if you guys would have fought, he could have died.
Yeah, crazy, hey. So glad that, obviously, really glad that fight never took place. God forbid something bad happened, but yeah, the UFC, obviously, the medicals helped out, and yeah, hopefully he lives to fight another day.
So before we talk about Bassil, man, there's been a lot of fighters that are chirping that are like say that they want to fight you, and then obviously they didn't. I guess the biggest one is like Joaquin Buckley. He said, you know, he wanted to fight you, and you said, well, why don't you fight this week? And he's like, no, well, let's fight in Perth. Like, was that annoying?
It was annoying, yeah. The fight was out, and then he came over. I thought he came over and said, oh, the UFC called me. I thought he was saying, let's do it, but he didn't want it. I offered to do it at 185. He wasn't into it. I think he wants the extra training camp, so whatever, yeah. And hope, yeah, we'll do it one day maybe.
And then he was chirping on Instagram saying, like, let's fight in Perth. Like, was that just kind of, were you to the point where, like, let's fight next week, or, like, just, like, stop talking to me?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I felt. Like, if you want to fight, let's do it. If you want to fight down the line, like, let me fight, and then we'll figure it out. But I want to fight someone legit in Australia.
With this fight, I mean, was it to the point where, like, did you have any other options that, like, from fighters on the roster, or was it just kind of like to the point where, like, the matchmakers were scrambling just to get you a fight?
The guys that I think everyone that said they were into fight all had fights locked in, so it was never really an option of those guys. I would have, if I had the choice, would have picked probably the highest ranked guy I could have, but yeah, beggars can't be choosers, and I just took what I could.
What do you think of the matchup with Bassil?
Yeah, no, I'm pumped. You know, I think he's an aggressive guy. You've got to expect someone like that. It's got a big opportunity on their hands. You've got to expect him to come at me. So, yeah, I'm just in for a fight, and that's what we got.
When you get that name, like, what's your process? Like, do you look him up, like, look at his past fights, or do you let your coaches do that?
Yeah, we got the name. I just said, let's do it. Like, we just needed the name. And when we saw the name, we were stoked, and then said yes, and then just watch some of his fights, get an idea of what we're in for, and yeah, I'm excited.
Obviously, we know your game plan. You go in there to knock this guy out. Is same game plan?
Yeah, stick and move and have fun.
And obviously, like, you get in there, no injuries. You're looking to turn around and fight in Perth.
Sydney. Yeah, that's the plan. Oh, yeah, that's been the plan the whole time. Not looking past anyone, just here to fight. And yeah, if there's a fight in Australia, I want to be on the card.
I did want to ask you finally about UFC 290. Robert Whittaker goes down. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was. I thought Dricus put on an awesome, like, an incredible performance. So yeah, he can't. Yeah, I think Robert Whittaker is one of the best, and Dricus just showed that he is very good.
And what about Alexander Volkanovski just continuing his dominance?
Yeah, I think he's just solidifying himself as the number one.
Awesome. Good luck this weekend.
Cheers, Alex.
Cool. Going back to when you started originally, your older brother Josh had a lot of influence in you starting to fight. When you reflect on then and where you are now, number 14th ranked, and you're making great waves in just your early part of the UFC, what kind of impact, and talk a little bit about your older brother's influence on you?
Yeah, just having someone that is bigger than me, having an older brother that's really involved in the sport, it's helped me a lot. We obviously challenge each other every day, and I've always been trying to catch up to him. And yeah, without him, I think probably wouldn't be here.
Being on that Perth card, and then now looking forward to hopefully being on that Sydney card, what is it like to represent your country and your home?
Yeah, the Australian crowd really get behind their fighters. So fighting in Perth was, a dream come true, and it was an incredible event, and hoping Sydney will bring much the same.
You're saying that you want a big name heading into Sydney, hopefully that you're all rested and ready to go. Who would be that big name?
I think Sean Brady sort of makes sense. I think we're hoping this is just a speed bump and we can get that fight matched up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
One little follow-up. When your fight originally got announced for this card, it was on the prelims. Hopefully, I think it's going to get bumped up to the main card. Like, do you care about your placement on the card?
No, not really. When I found out it was early, I was happy. Like, get in, get out, make the journey home.
Oh, okay. I guess makes sense. But, I mean, with you being a name and a fan favorite, like, do you feel like you're the co-main of this card?
It doesn't bother me, honestly. I'm here to fight, and a fight will be had.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Sweet, cheers, guys. Thank you.
What about Zach? Does Zach never do them anymore? You got used to
I don't know.
we used to film him.
Because Zach's local, just like I'm local. That's why I didn't see Zach really. Because he used to do Wednesdays, right? Yeah. So since I'm here, I do. I guess Zach could do. Well, I don't know what they're gonna have him doing for Contender.
True.
That could do it. The hard part about like other people doing it that are already
So, he just said if it's if we all vote, we can cut her.
Yep.
Raise your hand. Oh shit. Huh?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're fine.
So she doesn't have to do the makeup. Be like, so you don't have to do the makeup. Don't even worry about it.
I will not go against the grain.
She, like, remember the last
But I mean,
it was already now today? She got no longer with Dan, or I confused it.
What? You both were fighters.
Here, Alex, or Alex, just let you go first.
I was just talking to the room myself about how we could have got questions on the featherweight division.
Oh my God, we could have. You're right. No. How dare we continue on without that question answered?
I mean, I know it's not about
Just
sex
jump
and
off
your
the bridge.
vagina.
Does anybody want to talk with Howard?
No.
Well, because he's
Just Holly. We're fine with just Holly.
just Holly, and what else?
It's up. I don't think it's just.
I'm not going to fight against the grain. I'm just here recording.
Holly
stream is live, just reminding.
Well, remember with Bassil, how his nickname is Sweetheart? Yeah. I was gonna leave with like, okay, Sweetheart, how do you think this fight? Showed up. You know, they're like breaking in, like there's your jitters. Okay. Cool. Sure. Yeah. Who? Khabib. Khabib means Sweetheart. Dude, and last time they were playing was super deep. The working game plan, they have nothing to lose. But surprisingly, and he was winning on Sean Brady. How hard did he go for Brady?
Yeah, and there is something to say about somebody who keeps being told you're never, you're not gonna lose. You know what I mean? Like the kind of, not that he's the type, but there are people out there that kind of like let the guard down and like don't take their opponents. Okay, you're starting home. No, please. Somebody start home.
Hair looks perfect. Holly, welcome back to your home away from home. Here we've seen you in some of the biggest fights, headlining, MGMs, all that good stuff. How does it feel to be back? How's this summer Vegas heat treating you?
Well, I'm glad to be here. I don't mind the heat. I like the heat, so it's pretty hot back at home in New Mexico anyway, but just glad to be here and be in fight week and embrace the process.
You've been on the poster multiple times, 5-rounders. It's nothing new to you, but was it nice to have downshifted before with that 3-round fight?
Yeah, you know, a 3-round fight's always there's two ways of looking at it. It's only 3 rounds. I'm going to go even a little harder pace, or you know, your focus doesn't have to be so in tune for a half hour. It's 15 minutes, so I think sometimes that's more the thing for me. But also, there's only 3 rounds, so there's not a lot of room, you know, to mess around in there. So with 5 rounds, you've got 5 different rounds to make a statement in. I don't know. It was kind of nice to go back to a 3-round fight, but I feel like I should be fighting the best and being, you know, ready for a 5-round fight anyway, because that's what a title would be.
Absolutely. And speaking of always staying ready and doing these big fights, it's a little dangerous. You've always taken the big challenges, but a 3 versus a 10, a lot of people wouldn't sign up for that. But you're a veteran, you've been in the game. Was there any thought about like, I don't want to shift back, I don't want to take a lower ranked fighter, even if it is the main on ESPN Plus?
That's just the fight they offered me, so that's what I took.
Excellent.
I didn't have really, you know, they offer you a fight, you don't take it, then, you know, you can be sat down for a while. So it is a big risk to take a fight with a lower ranked fighter, because at this point, anybody in the top 10 are really tough. And so, yeah, I have everything to lose. She has everything to gain. There's a lot of pressure on that. But I think that a champion should be able to walk in and take care of it one way or the other.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. How do you see her as an opponent? You have the advantages being on the posters, being 25 minutes before, but what else does she bring to the table that's a good challenge for you?
I think she's tough. She's a scrapper. She'll go in. She's not afraid to throw, you know, throw combos on her feet. She's definitely seasoned with her jiu-jitsu, so she presents a threat in multiple ways. I don't overlook her at all.
Excellent. As a pioneer, living legend, you know, you've helped bring the sport, give it an energy boost every once in a while, especially when it was really needed. Amanda just retired. So thoughts on a former foe retiring, one of the greatest of all time, and also how that applies to you now being able to just be like, okay, now I'm going to just lead the division, maybe even get 2 belts doing it.
I wish Amanda nothing but the best in her retirement. She's a champion that never dodged anybody. She fought everyone that challenged her, and not a lot of people really can sit there and say, yeah, I took on it. She fought everyone. I always wanted to be able to avenge that loss, rematch her, fight her for the belt, and that's not going to happen anymore. But I always felt that at this point I was one fight away from the belt anyway. So my goal is still the belt, regardless. And, if she ever wants to come out of retirement, then maybe that could even happen then. Not every fighter stays retired, right? But, I do feel like I'm one fight away from the title regardless. And, even at 145 or 135. But, I was excited to fight for the title even before she retired, But, yeah, it does shake things up a little bit in the division because of it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Hi, Holly.
Hi.
There's been some rumors that Ronda may return, some rumors at 135, 145. Is that a fight you'd be interested in, and would you prefer one of those weight classes over the other?
I don't know if she'll really come back. I think, who knows if it's just talk. I know she's a very competitive person. There's a reason why she was an Olympian and a reason why she was a champion for so long. So I would absolutely revisit that fight. And at either weight, I think I don't really think that it's an advantage or disadvantage depending on the weight. I think that either one. We'll see if she comes back. I know she's been pretty busy with her life, and whatever she wants to do, more power to her. But if she comes back, that'd be great to fight again.
And we spoke to your opponent earlier today. She mentioned that a few things. She said that she doesn't believe you have the courage anymore. I'm wondering if you could respond to that.
I like that she thinks she knows what's on my heart.
And then she also predicted that she's going to fight 5 rounds with you and then knock you out in the 5th round. I wonder if you could respond to that as well.
Anybody can dream.
Thank you.
Yeah, Holly. The consensus is, Juliana Pena versus Raquel Pennington for the vacant bantamweight title. Do you feel like a win on Saturday, you leapfrog one of them and put yourself in there?
Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't. We're ranked 1, 2, and 3. I know that I've already had this fight scheduled since, before a lot of the shakeup in the division. But my focus is still Saturday night because that's all I'm promised right now. I need to get past that. But my focus needs to be there and present Friday night, and then see where we go from there.
Your old pal John Jones came back and demolished Cyril Gahn. I just wanted your thoughts on his performance and him coming back and just being John.
He's got a very high fight IQ, and he's very he really handles a lot of big pressure well. So a lot of people were worried about him having time off, how it was going to be. But when he takes a fight, he's taking it with intent to win, and I think that's why he's always, kind of been able to win in these fights. He's a very smart fighter and a very talented fighter, so I don't think it was a surprise for him to come back and be able to win, dominantly.
Awesome. Thank you.
Do you think any win gets you that title shot, or do you think it needs to be a knockout? I know Mayra was saying that she feels that only a knockout of you would be able to give her a title shot. Do you feel like any win, since you're a lot closer to the top, do you think any win propels you to that potential, or do you need a nice definitive finish of her?
Her and I are definitely in different positions right now, but and that is the risk with taking a fight with someone who isn't ranked, as I. Like I said, she has everything to gain, I have everything to lose. So, a loss to her takes me a big step back and puts her a big step forward. I'm very aware of what's in front of me. But we still got this fight Saturday night, and the unknown is out there. I always am looking for a big win and win in big fashion. I don't even in the gym, I don't want to lose a single round to my teammates, much less when I'm fighting someone who's trying to take my spot at, and use this fight to, push themselves forward. So I have a big pride and an ego in a good way that it's competitive. But I always want to win in big fashion. But my goal is to go in there and just focus and take it round by round. And if it takes 5 rounds, it takes 5 rounds. And if it's sooner, it's sooner.
And I know your style is very unique, you know, a lot of movement. And when I tried to ask her if she was able to bring somebody in to try to mimic that style, she just referred that her current coach is the one that had to act as you. But do you think she's seen anybody with your particular style? And break her down a little bit, like, when it comes to her striking, do you think that she stands a chance against your striking? I mean, is she dangerous in striking? And do you think she was able to mimic you in training camp?
Every fighter that's fighting in this division for this promotion that's in the top 10 all has a chance. They all have to be talented to even be there. So yes, she's tough. I don't ever overlook any of it. I don't think that I do feel that my ability and my skill is better than hers in every aspect of the, you know, those exchanges, but that doesn't mean that something can't land. I mean, not trying to be super extreme here, but you could get someone off the street and they still have a puncher's chance. So I don't ever overlook anything. I'm ready for anything, but I definitely feel that my skill is just better.
If they did go ahead and make the Pena versus Pennington fight, would that be upsetting? And if so, if that fight did happen, kind of what is your prediction on how that fight would come out?
I think that, you know, that fight could be, that could be like, it'd be a little scrap. I think that they both are, you know, scrappers. They kind of get in scrambles and they can make a fight, those two fighters and those styles. You know, if they put that fight together, then at this point, I don't know, do I wait and see what happens there and then, you know, see what's after that? And if they did it, how soon would it be? You know, would I want to take another fight between now and then? Or I think that there's a lot to do with, I mean, every week things can change. You know, from 6 months ago to now, you look at where rankings are and what fights have been put together. So I don't really put too much into it, you know, one thought. I just kind of want to get through this fight and just kind of see how everything unfolds.
And last for me, that being said, you know, the goalpost is so much closer now. You know, you're number 3, you know, that the titles are vacant. How reinvigorated for that, and how exciting is that to see that goal that you've been working towards, again, is within reach?
Yeah, I feel like, I guess I felt like that all along. You know, I had a decision loss against Ketlin, but I feel, and I think the majority of everyone else feels, I won that fight. And in that case, I would be on a 4-fight win streak. So there's that. You know, I think sometimes maybe other people, because you follow a lot of fights and a lot of different, you know, avenues and, you know, different fights and different results. But in my mind, I've always been a fight away from the belt, you know.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
One follow-up. You said that, you know, you were looking forward to a rematch with Amanda. Obviously, that's not going to happen anytime soon if she doesn't come out of retirement. But is there another rematch that you would like? You know, between Misha or JDR or Valentina, like, or Cyborg? Like, is there one rematch that you would prefer?
You know, I would avenge any loss. That's just, you know, that's my pride. You know, I would avenge any loss, but a lot of them really aren't feasible. Because GDR, we tried to put that one together multiple times. From what I understand, she just said no. And Cyborg's not with UFC anymore. Misha and Valentina, those are possible. You know, Valentina's been at 125, but she's had a lot of fights at 35. Who knows if she would come back up? You know, maybe she did fight Amanda twice. Maybe she would want to see if she could have, you know, be a double champ as well. Who knows? I would take any rematch for sure, because why wouldn't I want to get that win, you know?
Thank you.
Sorry, I forgot to ask. When you mentioned in passing 145 earlier, what are your thoughts on, do you think that the division's done? And if the opportunity came up to keep the division alive, would you take a fight at 145?
I mean, everything depends on the fight, the time, the opportunity. Everybody's been wondering if 145-pound division was going to be around since it started. And it's still there, so I don't really see it leaving. I think they leave that kind of open. You know, I just fought Yana, and then she just fought at 145, I think, you know, a week or two ago. So who knows? They're kind of keeping it somewhat active. I think Dumont and someone else fighting at 145 this Saturday. So, I mean, they might keep it. They keep putting fights in there, so I feel like they're keeping it alive. But it also has to. The fight has to make sense, you know. Thank you.
Так, мы рекламируем эту воду, но они ничего не платят.
Можешь брать, да, если хочешь.
Не-не-не, мы сейчас попросим их стать нормальными спонсорами.
Там вода есть, но
что они жадничают?
Давай.
Как она называется?
Монстр.
Монстр.
Hey, afternoon. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate your help, my man. Fight week, Vegas. We're kind of, had a huge event, but you can still make a splash as the co-main. How does that feel to be on that ESPN Plus card?
Неделя боя, мы в Вегасе, мы как бы прошел только что невероятный турнир на прошлой неделе, но все равно у тебя есть возможность засветиться, потому что ты будешь работать в главном событии, поэтому дай знать, как ты чувствуешь себя по этому поводу, какие вообще эмоции.
Здравствуйте. Вопрос какой у нас был?
Как ты себя чувствуешь, что ты будешь в соглавном событии после такого большого карда, который прошел на прошлой неделе? У тебя все равно есть возможность хорошо себя показать, засветиться, потому что ты в коммейн-ивенте. Какие по этому поводу чувства?
Я понял. Спасибо большое. Я чувствую себя прекрасно. Завтра у нас весогонка. Я думаю, что все успешно пройдем. Да, был хороший турнир, мы все смотрели, но я не хочу упустить свою возможность, которую дала мне UFC. Я в коммейн-ивенте, и я рассчитываю финишировать этого парня. Я знаю, что будет нелегко, потому что он не дает такого яркого боя, который ожидает его соперник. Но я думаю, что мы под него хорошо поработали, и я много чего изменил в своей подготовке в плане физики, ударки. И я очень надеюсь, что в следующем бою нам в UFC Apex в Лас-Вегасе дадут 5-раундовый бой с кем-нибудь именитым бойцом. Спасибо.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very happy to be here. Tomorrow we got the weight to cut, so hopefully with God's help, everything's going to go well. Obviously, a huge event this past weekend, but I'm also looking at the fact that I was given the opportunity to do a co-main event in the UFC. I'm very thankful to the UFC for giving me this opportunity, and I'm not going to waste it. Now, I know that I have a tough opponent. I'm going to do whatever I can do to finish him. I know he doesn't really show too many exciting fights. The way he is, his style is a little different, but we prepared really hard for him and made sure that we know how to fix that problem and how to make sure that the fight is still exciting. I've changed a lot in my training. I've changed a lot physically and a lot in my stand-up, so I think that we'll be able to have a great fight. And hopefully, after this fight, next time in the Apex, the UFC will give me somebody with a big name and give me a 5-rounder.
Well, just for fun, what would you prefer? The big name with that main event, or maybe to be in like an arena, T-Mobile, Madison Square?
Что тебе больше интересно, с кем-то именитым драться или все-таки сразиться на большой арене, например, как T-Mobile арена или Madison Square Garden в Нью-Йорке? Что для тебя более прикольнее, важнее, интереснее?
Честно сказать, мне в принципе все равно, будет это в T-Mobile арене или в UFC Apex. Мне главное, чтобы дали хорошего бойца, который входит в топ-10. Я так хочу, но не факт, что так и будет. Например, там Джек Хермансон или, не знаю, до любого, в принципе, из этой десятки.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't care if it's going to be at T-Mobile Arena next time or at the Apex. What I'm more concerned about is that I'm going to get a big name, somebody from the top 10, somebody like, let's say, a Jack Hermanson or somebody else, I'm not sure, but that's what's more important.
Excellent. You mentioned the training camp, switching things up, making a little, sharpening your tools. Feel free to elaborate on that. What have you been able to hit and really polish, or things that you're proud of leading into your fight this weekend?
Ты сказал, что ты много изменил в своей подготовке. Ты можешь чуть-чуть больше углубиться в то, что именно ты изменил, над чем больше работал, к чему больше, к чему присматривался больше, вообще как прошел лагерь и что изменилось?
Да, конечно. Я поработал над своей физикой. Я за 1,5-2 года, который провел в Вегасе, я, когда уже вернулся на родину, поработал с местными ребятами, я почувствовал, что я чуть-чуть слабее их в физическом плане. Я начал работать над физическими кондициями, и плюс я нанял еще одного тренера, который подтягивал мои боксерские навыки. Поэтому, по идее, если пойдет так, как мы планируем, бой должен завершиться досрочно. У меня единственный бой был, это последний бой с Чили, где я победил раздельным решением. Для меня это неприемлемо, я не хочу доводить бои до решения, тем более с таким решением, там, раздельным, стоишь, не знаешь, чью руку поднимут. Поэтому я рассчитываю, что мы поработали на отлично, и в эту субботу я намерен продемонстрировать и обрадовать свою команду.
Yeah, what we did a lot is worked on my physical conditioning, strength and conditioning, and also my striking. Basically what happened is when I went home, I was working with some of the guys back home, and I realized that physically I'm I'm not as strong as they are. So, the year and a half that I've been in Vegas, I've been really working on getting my physical conditioning up and my strength up. So that was important to me, and I think we've prepared a lot for this specific opponent. I also added a striking coach, a boxing coach. So with him, we worked a lot. I made sure that, I'm very well prepared. I'm looking to finish the fight early. I'm not at all looking to have it go all 3 rounds and go to the judges. I really am not used to my fights going to the judges. It's just the last fight, what happened, it was really weird that it went and I won with split decision. I'm not used to this, especially a win by split decision, not a unanimous, because you're standing there and you're not sure whose arm is going to be raised. You're not sure what they're going to say. So that's not something I'm used to. And I'm fairly sure that the way we trained, we're going to finish this fight early, and I'm going to impress the fans and my team together.
Excellent. Look forward to seeing all that and all the new stuff, and good luck on Saturday.
I just have one.
Thank you, sir.
I just have one silly one, and I hope I haven't asked you this already, but your photo on Tapology, I'm curious what the story is, you standing next to a car.
Такой смешной вопрос, я не знаю, я тебя спрашивал его уже или нет, но вопрос о том, что на твоей фотографии на сайте Topology ты стоишь рядом с машиной. Ты можешь объяснить, что это за фотка такая, и почему ты стоишь рядом с машиной?
Вообще понятия не имею, что за машина и где, кто сфоткал. Абсолютно.
I have no idea what car it is and who took that photo. I have no idea.
You don't look at your Tapology?
Ты не смотришь на сайт Topology, на такой веб-сайт?
Я знаю, что это такое, но я ни разу не смотрел, что у меня там за фотка стоит.
Yeah, I know the website, but I never figured out what photo I have there. I never paid attention to it.
Hold on, I'll show you.
Сейчас она тебе покажет. Да ты рядом с Мерседесом.
У нас были съемки Это было очень давно. Это когда я первый раз стал чемпионом welterweight в категории. Это где-то 2015 год, наверное, это лет 8 назад.
There was a shoot that we did. It's the first time I became a welterweight champion, and this must have been like 8 years ago. So this was part of the shoot.
Do you ever think, I mean, I guess you didn't know until just now, but that maybe they should update it with something current?
Ты не задумывался, что, может быть, уже пора как-то обновить эту фоточку? Может, они должны другую какую-то поставить, или тебе без разницы?
Для меня было бы честь, если они поставили бы, например, с логотипом UFC. Я безумно рад, что я сюда попал. Я много трудился, чтобы тут сегодня оказаться. И я очень надеюсь, что в следующем году вы увидите меня в титульном гонке и на самой вершине.
You know, I'd be really honored if they put something new up there, especially with the UFC logo next to it. You know, I've worked really hard to get to the UFC. It's a great honor for me to be here in the UFC, and I'm hoping that next year what you'll see is me getting to the title race and be in the title contention by next year.
I'll send them a picture to put up there for you.
Я пошлю туда специально фотку, которую они должны поставить для тебя.
You mentioned working on striking and bringing in a striking coach. Is that where you mainly see the danger coming from your opponent? And is the part of the game plan to try to get the fight to the ground, or do you welcome the fight standing up?
Ты говорил, что ты специально нанял коуча, с ним вы работали над ударкой, над боксом. Скажи, пожалуйста, ты считаешь, что это то, чего тебе нужно больше всего опасаться насчет твоего противника, или ты готов перевести бой в партер и закончить его там?
Смотрите, я, в принципе, довольно опытный боец. Я вам сейчас примерный расклад этого боя скажу. Бой начнется, любой бой как начинается в стойке. Мы начинаем в стойке. Он начинает со своего джеба и слоу-кика. Мой джеб намного мощнее будет, чем его джеб. Моя стойка будет намного мощнее. Он почувствует мощь в моих руках и мой тайминг. Его план тут же срывается, он лезет в борьбу, начинает кидаться в ноги, прижимать меня к сетке. И вот в таком ракурсе пойдет. Но ни в борьбе, ни в ударке у него ничего не получится. Я считаю, что он потеряется. И мы делаем свою работу. Стараемся завершить бой досрочно.
You know, I'm a pretty experienced fighter, so let me tell you exactly how it's going to go. Every fight starts in the stand-up, so we're going to start in the stand-up. He's going to start throwing out his jab. Well, guess what? I'm going to throw my jab out, and my jab is better than his jab. So my stand-up is going to be better than his stand-up. He's going to feel my strength. He's going to feel my power. That is going to make him want to shoot. He's going to try and shoot for a takedown or push me up against the cage and bring me down to the canvas. Well, guess what? I'm stronger there as well. So no matter if we're going to keep us standing up or if we're going to keep it going down, I'm going to be stronger than him at any point. And he's going to get lost. He's going to not know where he's at. And I'm going to do what my game plan is and make sure that we finish this fight before the end of the actual regulation.
Nice job on the memory there. He said he wanted to get like top 15 opponents. How many wins does he feel that he's away before he enters possibly the top 15?
Сказал, что хочешь быть в топ-15. Сколько ты думаешь, у тебя осталось побед для того, чтобы попасть, получить оппонента из топ-15?
Я рассчитываю, я финиширую этого парня, и мне матчмейкеры UFC предложат из топ-10 или из топ-15. Почему нет? Например, Шон Стрикланду дали парня, который намного далеко от рейтинга, да? Вот. Дали еще одному дагестанскому парню, Алис, как-то его зовут, я не помню. Ему дали Паулу Косту. Почему я не могу попробовать себя с парнями из топ-10? Почему я не могу себя проявить? Почему мне не дать такой шанс? Пускай дадут шанс, и мы воспользуемся этим на 100%.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get this win, and then I think that's a great opportunity for me to try and get somebody from top 15 to top 10. I mean, look at what's going on. Look at Strickland and Magomedov. I don't remember Abus Magomedov. So look at that. Magomedov was not even in a ranking, and then he got to go and fight somebody like Strickland. He got his opportunity. There was another Dagestani that got an opportunity. I can't remember the name. He said, so why is it not me? Why can't I be the one who gets this opportunity? So let the UFC give me this chance. Let me fight somebody top 15, top 10, and I'll show you that I'm worthy of this fight.
Last question. What are his keys to the victory? What needs to happen to make sure he gets his arm raised on Saturday?
Последний вопрос. Какой у тебя ключ к победе? Что тебе нужно сделать для того, чтобы подняли твою руку в субботу?
Смотрите, в бою очень много разных моментов, разные варианты. Все может измениться, начиная с первой минуты. Ни один человек не знает, в каком ключе это все может завершиться. Мы готовы к войне. Передышать нас не получится, перебить нас не получится, забороть нас тем более не получится. Иншаллах Рахман, мы добьемся своего по воле Всевышнего. И нашу руку поднимут в субботу вечером.
Look, you don't know what happens in a fight. You can't predict what's going to happen in a fight. Every time the fight is different. The fight dictates what's going to happen. But you know what I can tell you for sure is that there's nowhere that he can win. I don't know what the key to victory is, but he's not going to have better cardio than us. He's not going to have better stand-up than us. He's definitely not going to have better wrestling than us. So hopefully with God's help and God's guidance and God will, we'll do whatever we have to do that our hand is going to be raised on Saturday.
Good luck on Saturday. Спасибо.
Thank you.
What's up? How you doing? There's a plot. It's silent. Exactly. It's a developing situation.
Norma, here we are on fight week. How are the emotions coming in this fight, and how was fight camp?
Norma, aqui estamos, mais uma semana de luta. Como é que estão as emoções e como é que foi o teu camp para essa luta?
Estamos aqui de novo, né? Bom, tem 3 meses. Foi um camp muito bom, foi um dos melhores, sem lesão, sem problemas, sem sofrimento para cortar o peso. Fazer uma luta em seguida da outra foi muito positivo para mim. Estou assim com a confiança e com o corpo em dia para essa luta.
Yeah, here we are again, 3 months. It was a great camp, one of the best camps I've ever had. Absolutely no damage, no injury, any of that sort. It was very good for me to actually have fights back to back. Brings a good level of confidence, and I'm very confident about this fight.
And I was going to say, you're coming in also on a 2-fight win streak. I mean, does she feel like she's firing on all cylinders? Is everything working perfectly for her?
E também vindo de 2 vitórias consecutivas, você acha que as coisas engrenaram? Você acha que agora está tudo funcionando e está tudo que mais ou menos encaixou?
Sim, vem a experiência, né? De acordo com o que você vai lutando, principalmente dentro da organização, que é um mundo diferente. Você vai ficando mais experiente, mais calmo, mais tranquilo, mais confiante. E, obviamente, eu tive adversários que me proporcionaram essa confiança porque foram adversários muito difíceis. Então, a cada vez que eu descia daquele octógono, eu descia mais experiente e, consecutivamente, toda vez que eu subir lá, eu vou subir mais experiente também.
It comes with experience. I think there's not just the experience of fighting, but also the experience with being within the organization, which is a completely different thing. I've had the opportunity of my experience getting better with all those fighters that I fought, and I feel that you get calmer, you understand things more, and I got more experience with every single fight, and every time I go into that octagon, I come back and I leave that octagon a more experienced fighter.
We'll cross the cage from you today, or coming up on Saturday, Chelsea Chandler. She's only had 1 fight in the UFC. Do you feel that just talking about experience itself, do you think that experience of since you having more octagon time, is going to pay dividends in this fight on Saturday?
E do outro lado do octógono, no sábado você tem uma Chelsea que só lutou uma luta no UFC. Você falou de experiência, você acha que no caso o fato que você tem e ela não tem, isso acaba trazendo uma vantagem importante para você no sábado?
Acho que sim, principalmente, acho que em todos os contextos, mas principalmente na tranquilidade, né? Na tranquilidade, na maturidade, dentro e fora do octógono, né? A Chelsea me parece uma atleta, apesar de ter quase 30 anos, mentalmente muito jovem, e acho que ela vai começar talvez a entender um pouco mais como que funciona aqui dentro da organização no dia 15.
Yeah, because it brings a calm. I think with the experience, and there's also a calmness. That's what, and just understanding things out there, you become more intelligent. Even though Chelsea's going on 30 years old, I feel like she's mentally young. She's someone that's just she's developing right now. She's going to start understanding some things now about being inside of this organization because they're different. And I think we're going to see this on Saturday.
I guess just then break her down on paper. Where is she dangerous, and I don't know if you got to watch much tape of her time before, but what are you expecting from her on Saturday? What dangers are you facing?
Descreve ela um pouquinho pra gente como lutadora pelo aquilo que você viu. Não sei o quanto que você viu, se você viu, teve a oportunidade de ver lutas dela, mas pelo que você sabe, como é que você colocaria talvez possíveis perigos que você possa enfrentar?
Chelsea dentro do octógono é imatura, inconsequente e ruim.
Chelsea, inside the octagon, is immature, lacks a sense of what consequence, and she is bad.
There's a lot of talk about featherweight, or I guess a lot of questions about the featherweight division. Are you confident that this division is still going to be around? Are you still expecting to fight in this division? And did you hear anything outside of this that there will be more featherweight fights? So this is one of the last featherweight fights that's on paper for the UFC. Do you think the division is going to stick around?
Existem muitas questões em relação à divisão. Se pena continua, se vai estar lá, se, por exemplo, a luta de vocês é uma das últimas a estarem listadas realmente no papel, assinada para acontecer. Como que você vê o futuro da divisão? Você vê um futuro da divisão? Você acha que a divisão estará lá para vocês continuarem lutando?
Cara, eu acho que se o UFC não colocar essa divisão para frente agora, vai ser uma perda muito grande para a organização. Eu vou entrar no sábado para fazer o que vale a pena, para que eles sintam o interesse em manter a divisão, para que eles sintam que eles têm aqui um atleta que pode sim, será a cara da organização, será a cara da divisão, que vai segurar o peso-pena no UFC. E eu acho que vencendo sábado, né, contra a Chelsea, a gente tem ali uma oportunidade de voltar a fazer a divisão crescer, com principalmente a primeira campeã da divisão, que é a Germaine Handeby, que volta no final do ano. Então, eu acho que a gente tem armas para fazer, mas vai precisar de ser bem feito no sábado, né? O trabalho ser bem feito no sábado.
I think that if the UFC does not proceed, not continue with the division, I think it's going to be a huge loss to the UFC. What I feel that on Saturday is you're taking this fight thinking that this Saturday they're going to see somebody who's eager to continue, who wants to be the face of this division, and is working for it, and it's going to give them reasons to be excited about actually having fights in the future. And also, towards the end of the year, we have a former champion of the division that's coming back. I think there are reasons why they should consider this, and it would be a big loss if they decided not to go with it. They just need to have people like us that are going to show the division and what's capable.
Last thing for me, your keys to the victory. What needs to happen on Saturday to make sure that you get your arm raised?
Última coisa minha, quais são as chaves para a vitória? Que coisas que você acha que você precisa fazer para ter o teu braço levantado no sábado?
Tranquilidade, experiência e conectar na hora certa.
Calmness, just experience and connect at the right time.
Hey Norma, if the division does go away, can you make bantamweight?
Se a divisão acabar, você consegue lutar em um peso galo?
A gente está fazendo um trabalho para melhorar isso. Meus últimos 2 cortes de peso foram bem tranquilos. A gente está tirando 2 quilos,
porque a gente já sabe que existe esse risco. Então, já tem uns 2 anos que a gente vem trabalhando para manter o peso mais baixo, para que, se caso for necessário, a gente descer e pegar o cinturão de baixo também.
This is some work that's actually being done with the team as of late. My last 2 weight cuts were actually pretty chill, pretty okay. We actually cut about 4 pounds or so, exactly planning and anticipating that this could be happening in the future. And if so be it, if need be, we'll be ready to actually chase for that belt.
Thank you.
Thank you, Norma, for taking the time.
Hello.
Let me circle back real quick to what you were talking about with Kenny, about being the face of the division. So we're on this side seeing things. You're in the cage. We had Valentina lose. We had Amanda retire. What's the buzz like being right now a warrior in the UFC, where you could potentially be just a fight or 2 away from a big performance and be that next star that can really take over and go to new levels in your career?
Obrigado por estar aqui com a gente hoje. Só meio que embalando naquilo que o Kenny falou, a gente está aqui do lado de cá perguntando as coisas para vocês, mas você está aí, você está dentro, você está no meio de todo esse momento. Você está na divisão, você é uma lutadora. Você tem uma Valentina que perdeu, você tem uma Amanda que não está lutando mais e se aposentou. Como é que você estar na divisão e qual que é o sentimento que vocês têm internamente como lutadora e a oportunidade de você falou ser a cara da divisão e de talvez ser aquela pessoa que vai conquistar esse espaço e que vai ocupar esse espaço, e a gente gostaria de saber qual é a visão que você tem aí dentro.
Sobre o peso-pena?
Sim.
Então, eu acho que, a princípio, no dia da aposentadoria da Amanda, acho que a primeira ideia do UFC talvez fosse, de fato, fechar a divisão, mas eu acho que eles estão esperando a luta de amanhã, talvez de sábado, né? Talvez para reavaliar o que vai ser feito. É a sensação que eu tenho. Eu acho que não tem como fechar essa divisão agora. A gente tem algumas últimas contratações do UFC que vieram atletas do 66 do Invicta, inclusive a Chelsea é uma delas, e elas não batem o peso de 61. A gente tem uma Irene Aldanha com dificuldade de bater o peso de 61, tem uma Mense que não bate mais o peso de 61. Então, a Germane também não sabemos como vai retornar, é uma atleta bem grande. Então, eu acho que o UFC vai repensar ali um pouquinho, e para não perder muitas atletas, porque não seria só eu, teria uma baixa aí de umas 5, 6 atletas ao longo do tempo. Eu acho que pode ser, sim, que eles mantenham a divisão em pé, mas eu preciso impressionar no sábado, eu sei disso.
I think that when Amanda went away, I think that one of the first things that actually went through the UFC's head was actually maybe do away with the division. But there are so many athletes that are coming. I mean, you have some newcomers, some actually signings as of recently. I mean, you have a former champion. I don't know how she's going to be coming in and probably cannot make weight at a lower division. You have Irene Aldana, who has had issues making weight as well. You have Mency as well. So there's going to be like 5 or 6 athletes that the UFC could end up losing throughout the course of a couple of months or years that might not want to make weight at a lower division, struggle to make weight. So I do believe that I do have to. There's a hope out there, and I think we can do things. But I do have to impress on Saturday with a big time win for them to consider that.
Thank you. And as far as one of the greatest to ever do it, to retire, just your thoughts, please, and opinion on Amanda, the queen of 35 and 45, maybe someone you would have liked to fight or use as somebody to motivate you and inspire to say, you know what, I'm going to do what she did and maybe even better, or raise the bar even higher.
E a maior da história, agora que agora se aposentou, a gente gostaria de saber um pouco da tua opinião sobre isso, que foi bem tanto 35, 45, ela também fez tudo que era necessário. Ela é uma pessoa que talvez você tinha a intenção de lutar contra, ou alguém que te motiva, te inspira, como eu também quero fazer a mesma coisa? Visão geral sobre a Amanda.
Cara, a Amanda é incrível. Eu tive algumas oportunidades, né, de a gente se encontrar. Sempre me tratou muito bem. Eu sempre tive um respeito, uma admiração muito grande, porque eu sei a história dela. Dentro do octógono, acho que é incontestável toda, né? A postura, a apresentação. Óbvio que eu queria lutar com ela, não porque eu não gosto dela, muito pelo contrário, porque eu admiro, e vencer a Amanda eu acho que me tornaria, de fato, uma atleta... lógico que teria que ter o legado dela, mas me tornaria grande também, assim como foi quando ela venceu a Cyborg. Então, queria enfrentar ela, mas, logicamente, pelo respeito, pelo carinho, para me testar, porque eu acho que seria uma luta incrível. Mas, dela como pessoa, só tenho elogios. Ela é uma pessoa incrível, uma mãe incrível, uma atleta incrível e só respeito. Realmente, eu gosto muito dela, da Nina, tenho uma admiração muito grande pela história dela.
I've had the opportunity. I mean, Amanda, she's been nothing but nice to me when I saw her. Someone that I've had always the uttermost respect and admiration for. It's just uncontested. I mean, it's unmatched, everything that she's done in MMA. Someone that I would really like to fight with, not because I don't like her, but exactly for that admiration. And I think that obviously you would have to have her legacy, but to beat Amanda, it's an instant gratification for someone that it puts you in a different level, just like when she actually beat Cyborg. But I think she's a wonderful athlete. She's an amazing mother, a great person. I love Nina as well, someone that I've had great contact with, and just this is as an athlete, but as a person as well. Just I admire her and love her a lot.
Thank you so much. Perfectly said. And last for me, without giving too much away for Saturday, and what you've studied, game plan, preparation, what can we expect and what do you see advantages against Chelsea?
Muito bom resumo. Última pergunta da minha parte, assim, sem obviamente revelar os teus segredos para sábado. Em termos de plano, o que a gente pode esperar de você lutando? O que você vai trazer contra a Chelsea?
Um striker de excelência, bastante potência e bastante agressividade, que foi uma das coisas que eu mais trabalhei para essa luta. Ser agressiva dentro do cage, porque eu sei que a gente tem condição de nocautear qualquer um ali dentro e a gente vai começar a abrir essas portas nesse próximo dia 15.
Excellence in striking, also firepower and an aggressiveness, something we've been working with a lot to actually improve the aggressiveness, and we want to start opening some doors. And because we know we have a lot of strikers available out there, we need to bring some more aggressiveness, and you're going to start seeing that on the 15th.
Can't wait to see it. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
One more. You keep saying a former champion's coming back at the end of the year. Are you referring to Ronda Rousey?
Não. Qual é o nome da pessoa? Ele falou uma ex-campeã. Você falou o nome dela lá? Você falou e uma ex-campeã que está voltando?
Germaine Handemi.
Got it?
I couldn't understand.
What was it?
Germaine. I'm sorry.
That was just. Oh, I thought.
O sotaque atrapalha, né?
Reason we asked, there was someone earlier that came in and thought that Ronda was coming back and was the potential of looking at 145. If that was the case, do you think how do you think Ronda would fare at 145?
A razão pela qual perguntaram, porque antes, agora, numa entrevista anterior, mencionaram que haviam escutado que a Honda não só estava voltando, mas voltaria a 145. Como é que você vê a possibilidade da Honda talvez voltar? Não a Germaine, mas
incrível. Nossa, seria maravilhoso. Ela realmente, assim, seria um nome que com certeza reacenderia a divisão. É outra atleta incrível que eu teria prazer imenso em enfrentar. São as atletas Honda, Amanda, no caso, aposentou, Germaine e Holm. São as atletas Valentina, são as atletas que realmente, para mim, seria um sonho enfrentar.
It would be incredible. It would be someone that would just provide a spark to the division. It would be a pleasure to fight her. They're athletes. They'll be great to fight. You just mentioned Valentina, Amanda, who retired, Holly, and Germaine as well.
Cool. Thank you.